Okay, quick tutorial today. I was given a cut sheet example of this light fixture, and I just traced it out with some lines and fills to get the scale and the size. And really what's important here is that this is essentially just a half of that element that's been traced out, because what I want to do is build this with the shell tool. So I'm going to show how to do that here, basically breaking this into separate pieces, one for each color that I need to trace out. So the shade, the fixture, and the actual orb. And you can see that you can trim, this is all just line work, just trimming that stuff out to be nice and tidy. Now if I go to the shell tool right here in the toolbox, I want to set the geometry method to revolved, the construction method to polygon, and then I'm going to go to the settings of this and set the thickness to 0. And we'll just use a surface override because ultimately we're going to be saving this as an object. So we'll say that this is, we'll just put it as tinted glass for right now. Now if you hold down space, you'll get this magic wand. And so I'm just going to magic wand that shape and give it a center line right down the middle and revolve this 360 degrees. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of it. So if I grab this one and magic wand that, give the center line, and then do the same thing here, magic wand this one, and give it its center line. And you'll see that I didn't do the full shape. I only have this as whatever it is, like 1/8 of an inch thick, because I want it to be open on the inside. Now these other two pieces, I want these to be different surfaces. So we'll make this just dark gray, and we'll make this like a burgundy or a red or something to match the cut sheet. So we'll just use burgundy for this. Now if I move this one back into place, this orb portion, right, then we look like, it looks like the cut sheet over here. It has the same geometry. It's all measured out so that the radius of the outer part is 13 inches, the top part is 4 7/8 diameter, the total height is 6 inches, the actual orb it has a diameter of 5 inches, so this is all good to go now. I'm going to grab all of the arc pieces and the line pieces and purge those out of there. All I need are these pieces right here. If we look at this in 3D, right, it looks like the fixture, more or less, but now I want to make this an object. So I can take this this element, and if I go to File, Libraries and Objects, Save Selection as Object, you can see I already created it here, but just for the purpose of illustration, I'm going to give it a new name and save that, and here you can see all of those attributes. And this is why it's important to set those attributes before you save. Had I not set each of those shells as a separate attribute, they wouldn't have individual surface controls. The same applies to different pen types, line types, and building materials, fills, anything else that you're saving as an object. You can add details. You can put your name here. If you have the cut sheet screenshot, you can set a preview picture and get a thumbnail set for that. The description can be added for just metadata to let people know when it was created, manufacturer information, things like that. And then the keywords are sometimes helpful for searching for these things in the libraries. So something like that can be searchable. We'll say change and then OK. And now if I go to my object tool in place, there's the object version. Now obviously this not being a wall sconce, we would want to rotate that. So there's a couple of more things that we can do. If we go to File, and Libraries and Objects and Open Object, or Command Option O in the shortcuts. Now I want to take this object and rotate it in 3D so that it's excuse me, so that it's more ceiling mounted. So if I type ROT right here, ROTx 90, that's going to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis. If we go to the 2D preview, this is obviously not what we want to see in 2D, so we can add a line of script here so that this mimics the 3D projection of it. So if we type project2, project2 space 2 320, or sorry, 322, I believe is the code. Then we get the over the top preview of that. And so there's really no scripting needed other than that project to function. Now if I say save that, now that object has that floor plan projection that matches the 3D. An alternate would have been to take these shells and rotate them and get them into a more horizontal position before saving them. But typically I would add that project to script just to simplify the 3D projection in any case. So that's all it takes to model with the shell tool and save as an object. And here's the object version of that. So I hope that helps in the future.